This video shows you how to use Bluetree's Hours of Service application. The first thing you have to do is log in. Enter your username and password to log into the system. Once you have logged in, you will be presented with the driver's home screen. The one we are going to focus on in this particular video is the one in the top left, the Hours of Service widget, which indicates the current state of the driver's logs. You can see that right now the driver is off duty and the counter shows 7 hours and 58 minutes. This is showing in green, which means everything is good. The driver has 7 hours and 58 minutes to drive before the driver to take their next break. And we see then it's also indicating the next break is due at 9:16 p.m. Central Time. So this is a heads up to the driver as they are driving as to what their current state is. Clicking on this widget takes you into the Hours of Service home screen. This gives you some more information about driver's logs. Again, we see 7 hours and 58 minutes being the big time in the middle, and it shows a green color coding beside this to indicate that there is plenty of drive time available. Below that, we see the total driving today on the 11-hour clock, 2 hours and 35 minutes. On the 14-hour clock, we are up to 2 hours and 38 minutes right now, and on the 70-hour, we are at 11 hours and 11 minutes. This shows you exactly where you stand on your daily, weekly, and driving counters. In the top right, you can see the driver is currently in an off-duty state, and below that, we get some advice. You can see that the 30-minute counter is counting down. The driver has been off duty now for 3 minutes, so it's showing 27 minutes left before the driver has completed a valid 30-minute break. Another 1 hour and 57 minutes will complete a 2-hour break, which may be useful again later on as part of a split sleeper, and 9 hours and 56 minutes of additional off-duty will give this driver a 10-hour break. So you can see that the driver is getting advice here at all times. You can click on that advice to get it delivered in even more detail, so you're always aware of what your next move should be. We get a detailed breakdown of advice in lots of different categories. If you want to change state to start your day, you select the off-duty status window in the top right, and you are then presented with the simple duty state changes that are on offer. You can change to sleeper berth, you can change to on-duty, or a subset of on-duty by clicking on Next. So click Duty, click Next to see pre-trip, post-trip, fuel, and possibly others. These choices are company-specific, so you might choose to fuel the vehicle, and we get prompted immediately with a message, "Do you want to do your pre-trip inspection?" The first action of the day should be to complete a pre-check inspection so the driver can select Yes and walk through this very quickly. This will be covered in more detail in another video. Very quickly, you inspect all items. Once you are satisfied, select Next and send the report. Very quickly, your pre-trip inspection has been completed, and you are left in a pre-trip state, which is on duty, and the logs will continue to count down. To review the logs, simply slide the window out from the left-hand side of the screen, and the menu appears. Selecting the very top item there gets you back to the home screen at any point. The second item, Duty Logs Graph, allows you to review 7 or 8 days of logs in a graphical format. In the top right, you can see arrows left and right to slide from one day to the next, and at any point you can click on a duty state and you can see where and when that duty state happened. So you can review your logs in detail, pinch to zoom, and zoom right in to see the smaller duty states. Click on anything, and the windows at the very top of the screen will update the full detail. At the side of the screen, you get your totals as you would expect to see on paper logs. So you get a full set of logs here. If you log into another vehicle, your full set of logs will be downloaded from the server and be available online on any vehicle that you like. To click back at this point gets back to the main screen, with the menu already available. The menu gives you the ability to view your logs in tabular format. Selecting the Duty Logs table shows you the last 7 or 8 days of logs in a tabular format, And again, you can go through this and confirm that everything is correct, or you can choose to make some edits to your logs at this point. Let's show an example of that. The very second item here shows on duty for 15 minutes, so clicking on the on duty allows you to change to certain states here. You can go and either change that on duty to off duty, saying that that was an error. We can see very clearly that this is always marked as an edit. The little yellow indicator on that line indicates that this line entry in the log has been modified. That will remain there at all times, even for roadside inspections, that will be visible to the roadside inspector, and you will always be able to see the original and the final duty at any point here. If you are happy with the changes that have been made, select OK. Now you can proceed to the next item in the menu, which is the daily summary, and this again just summarizes your last 7 or 8 days and shows you your total time driving, on duty, resting, distance traveled, and whether your logs are signed or not. At this point, you can go back and sign your logs. There is one day not signed here, June 27th. Select the log for June 27th, select Yes, and Continue. Again, the back button brings you back to the final entries here. Load details. This is the screen where you see your carrier name, you see the truck you are logged into, and you can enter your trailer number here, and you can also enter your shipping documents. As you go, you enter your information here and it gets stored on the system. That concludes our tutorial on how to use BlueTree's Hours of Service application.